For a lot of naturopaths and their practices, it could be challenging getting new clients to your practice. You may have been thinking about advertising, and you might have considered either Google advertising or Facebook, wondering what is the best platform to advertise with. And perhaps most importantly, how do we avoid wasting money and actually getting results? This isn't going to be a technical demonstration or walkthrough, but a high-level understanding of what the campaign should be focused on and how to properly think about the visitors that you want to get to your website. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Sage and Savvy YouTube channel. We're a community building a movement for wellness practitioners so they can feel confident with technology and growing their practices. I'll share more on that later, but let's get started. Now, the idea of advertising is getting clients and patients. And that usually starts by getting people to your website and them seeing your offer. The main difference between Google advertising and most other advertising is that specifically with Google search, we are targeting people who are actually looking for your service, as opposed to something like Facebook advertising, which relies on interrupting people who weren't in that moment looking for your services. That's not to say that Facebook marketing or magazine marketing aren't effective. They are incredibly effective, as evidenced by the fact that millions of advertisers spend millions of dollars on many other platforms. But for the purposes of this strategy, and the first advertising strategy that you can use to get clients as fast and as cheaply as possible, this Google search strategy is what we recommend. Now, since people are searching for a solution, their intention is to find your practice. So that makes this strategy so much more powerful because we are getting people who are opting in for what you're offering. As an overview of what we're going to discuss today, we're going to first talk about the different kinds of intent that people have when they search on Google. We'll discuss the different types of text to use in your ad, depending on the intention of the searcher. We'll talk about your website and where we want to link these people to. And we'll touch on conversion tracking, because ultimately we won't know if our advertising is successful if we're not properly tracking how much we're spending and how many clients we're getting as a result. So let's start. Now, as a naturopath, you probably have a great idea of the kinds of services that people are looking for. From actual research, what is clear is that many people who go to naturopaths are looking for treatment for either gut or stomach ailments or chronic stomach pain. Oftentimes they'll have already gone to some doctor and not found lasting healing. So they're looking for an alternative. I want to focus on that kind of patient because when it comes to Google searching, there's going to be a lot more people looking for stomach pain related queries. You can certainly apply this strategy for other ailments, but I want you to understand the concept and the strategy for stomach issues, and then you could apply it to other issues as well. Now, you have two different kinds of people who are going to be looking for your services. Some people might say, stomach pain doctor near me, or treatment for stomach issues. And so they're going to be one category, and there's one campaign that we're going to develop for them. Then you have people who are saying a naturopath for stomach pain issues, using naturopath in their search. And that's going to be another campaign. Now, let's take the campaign where we do not mention the word naturopath. That campaign is actually going to be competing with many other kinds of practitioners, right? You might have GI doctors that are competing for that. You might have acupuncturists or other kinds of healers and doctors that are also bidding for that term. What is important to understand at this point is that when it comes to Google search, you don't pay until someone clicks on your ad. So theoretically, you can show your ad to hundreds of people, but until someone clicks on your ad, you don't have to pay. You pay based on the bid that you set. All we need to do is make sure that when somebody is searching for, let's say, stomach doctor treatment near me, or those kinds of keywords, then our ad will show up, but the text we use in the ad will filter out anybody who's not interested in naturopathy. For example, take a look at this ad text over here. Here we have somebody searching for digestive issues doctor near me. Many people can show up for that search. But in our ad, notice that we have the word a naturopathic approach may help. If somebody is interested in naturopathy or interested in your solution, we are able to show the ad even though they weren't looking for a naturopath. If we don't put naturopath in our search term and they clicked on our ad, they're going to find out on our landing page that you are a naturopath, and that might not have been what they were interested in. So you're going to be stuck paying for clicks of people who were not interested in naturopathy. So it's important that the word naturopath is very prominently placed in your search ad. Another thing to note with this ad is that we're featuring a free consult, and that is very helpful, especially with people who are not familiar with naturopathy. They might want some kind of assessment or information to know that your treatment is right for them. So having some kind of free discovery is generally very helpful and recommended for getting patients into your practice. Once they click on the ad and go to the landing page, that landing page has to be really optimized for your treatment. You don't want to send them to your generic homepage where you might discuss many different treatments that you have. What you really want to do is make sure that you're going to a page that's optimized for digestive health. Have all the relevant information, whether it might be featured information. A lot of times there are different cards you can display. And then having a robust FAQ section that will be able to address any question that somebody who has never been to a naturopath before would find helpful. The final thing I would say about the landing page, which would 10x your conversion rate, is by having a video of you, the practitioner, talking directly to the visitor, building rapport, building a sense of trust, and allowing them to virtually meet you before they've even been to your office. And even if you're not good on video, it really will benefit you so much to break any internal barriers you might feel about making video. And it will allow your advertising budget to really go that much farther. To actually execute this advertisement, I'm just going to link in the description to this YouTube video. There are many YouTube videos that talk about how to actually create an advertisement. This video will make it very easy for you to follow step by step and set things up. Now, as far as the other campaign goes, where people actually put in the search term naturopath for stomach issues or naturopath treatment for IBS, those kinds of search terms with the word naturopath in it are going to be much fewer. And you should certainly be advertising because those are people who are very high intent. And when they see your advertisement and your landing page, they'll be much more likely to become clients. So for example, if you look over here at this ad, we have naturopath for digestive issues. It's exactly what people are looking for, right? They are searching for a naturopath, and the first word they see is naturopath for digestive issues. Not like before, where we were not focused on naturopath at the beginning. Here, that's the first thing we're going to lead with. We also provide that free consult in this ad as well, because that will be a great way to initiate that patient relationship. So they know that you are the right doctor for them. So just to summarize, the first campaign we're doing is for generic searches focused on high volume, a lot more people searching, but less intent. The second campaign is for people who are high intent, but less volume of searchers. The last thing I want to discuss is the tracking and measurement, because ultimately we can't know if our advertisements are working if we aren't tracking if they're getting conversions. I'm going to link to a developer in the description. I use him. I have no financial affiliation with him, but I know he's really good. That allows you to track every time somebody clicks on your ad to know if they became a client, made a phone call, filled out a form, if they booked an initial consultation, and actually even to being a paying patient. So if you set up your tracking properly, you'll know if your advertisements are actually being successful, to the extent where you can see the dollar amount of how much it takes for you to get a new patient. And with that information, you'll know if this is working for you, if Google search advertising is a successful long-term strategy for your practice. So I hope that was helpful for you. Like I mentioned at the beginning, we are Sage and Savvy. We're a free community that helps wellness practitioners to really feel confident in business tools and marketing tools, because ultimately what you're doing is incredibly valuable for your community, and we want you to feel confidence. And so we have many resources. I'm going to link to them in the description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. And don't forget to keep it awesome.